Hi, good afternoon. My name is Jason Wampler. Actually, good morning by about 6 minutes. Jason Wampler. It's Monday, 15th of July at around 11:55 a.m., 5 minutes before noon. This is another episode of AnAxToGrind. You know what I don't like about these videos? In fact, they kind of make me look like I'm bald. Well, I'm not quite that bald, not at least not just yet. I'm not a very handsome fella, and that's okay. I've learned something interesting about this culture. They do say that 40% of your beauty is your haircut, and I do believe that. But what's interesting about dealing with women, I can manipulate the way women treat me based on my appearance. If I have a nice haircut, nice clothing, uh, uh, you know, uh, I don't know, suntan, nice build, etc., etc. If I look like Rico Suave, then they'll treat me well. If I look like a school teacher with my asshole shirt on, like the one I have on now, not necessarily a power color, women will just kind of blow me off and blow me over. Women treat people based on their appearances. I don't know why, but in this culture, I probably in most other cultures as well, women will give a person a lot of credulence based on their appearance. They'll judge men based on their appearance. And of course, this has proved to be a fatal mistake in some cases. But, it's if you learn how to use it, you can use it to your advantage. But I don't like to see, as much as I have a problem with the way women treat me, I don't want to see women get mistreated by men with bad intentions. That's actually a lot worse. Um, I'm willing to cut women a lot of slack in a lot of areas. I'm kind of trying to understand women's behavior. It's important. They're the opposite sex. I'm kind of to find something kind of disturbing about men's behavior. Most men on this planet are not like me. They're not sensitive to the needs of women. They don't understand women's rights, the fact that women are being oppressed. Unfortunately, I get thrown into this barrel of rotten fruit. I might be the good apple, but everybody else is rotting on the vine. Guys are real stupid creeps. I don't know why. I haven't looked into that. I don't know what makes men creeps and not appreciate the shape of a woman's body. Um, but all things being equal, I guess that's the next mystery I'll try and solve. In the meantime, I do want to say this, ladies, all your ads, all your camel toe yoga pants ads on YouTube are not working. I understand these YouTube shorts can be up to 60 seconds long, and have your hair cover your face, of course, because you don't want to suffer the embarrassment people knowing who you are when you're spread eagle, bending over backwards and showing off, the curves of your vagina lips underneath the yoga pants. We can tell how big your vagina is. Um, boobs hanging out, such and sort like that. It's all real exciting and everything, but you know what? Um, that type of advertisement makes you close to being a prostitute, in my opinion. But it's not really that, because I understand it's passive aggressive. It's a subliminal effort to restore your relationship with men. Here's the problem I have, and in these other ads where the women are not doing that, they're just talking to the camera and saying, "I don't understand why I can't find a man." Well, lady, I'm here to tell you that if you can't find a man and you're that good looking, I'll tell you, if you're looking for a man, you're that good looking and you can't find a man, I would say that you are doing something wrong. You're either looking for the wrong type of man, or there's something seriously flawed about you. Guys like me, my experience over the past 40 or some odd years, starting with me being 6 years old in preschool, being almost beaten to death by a female preschool teacher, and going blind for about an hour because she hit me so hard in the back of the head, to girls, telling me they hate me, girl calling me stupid, one girl telling me she wanted to kill me, the girls treating me like crap up until the age of 45, to having a bad relationship with my mother. My mother, Deidre Wampler, she passed away. She's an okay person, but she committed what's called emotional incest with me on several occasions. She was mentally and verbally abusive. Um, she was just a really it. We brought out the worst in each other. And we had a bad relationship. When we separated, her personality blossomed. She actually became a much better person. When we're there together, my mom and I, we stayed together for too long. I had to take care of her. I took care of her for the last 20 years of her life. It was a sad situation. My mom had a sad life. I understand. I feel for her. And I may have talked about this before, but I'm talking about it again. I don't mean to sound like a broken record. But then there was that. Then there's the Robin Morgan affair. My first girlfriend I had after Kathy Virak when I was 16. Kathy doesn't like my religious faith, so I broke up with her. That really devastated her, and that's my fault. Shout out to Kathy Virak and your two sisters, I believe, Carol and Lisa. Your mother, Della, if she's still alive. All four of you were absolutely amazing, wonderful women, even though you're not of my same religious faith. Kathy, I'm sorry I broke your heart. Um, a shout out to Heather Feld from 12th grade high school. Heather, I never asked you out because you weren't of my religious faith. I'm sorry for breaking your heart. I know, but I never kind of let things get off the ground. So um, I don't know what to say to that. Maureen, I'm sorry for breaking your heart. Um, but I guess I've done my share of hurting women. But ladies, when you treat guys like crap your whole life, and you treat them like you're unobtainable, especially these young kids, um, these young girls, you treat guys like they're a fucking disease. Okay, you can go ahead and do that. And in high school, you realize you got to keep up the act, but you let a few guys do the net, the really good-looking special ones. And then you develop a reputation of being impossible. And in college, you have to do wild, crazy things. You have to go to parties, and both the men and women have to get drunk before you can get a guy to touch you. And then after college and your working professional years, guys have got their noses buried in their work. They won't want anything to do with you because from prior experience, they've had so much trouble with women. They just don't want that kind of trouble in their life, so they avoid you. So you're 30 years old. Maybe you fool a guy into going on a date with you. Maybe you actually get lucky by the time you're 35 years old and you get a semi-serious relationship for about 6 months. Yeah, and then you let your guard down. You fuck around with him, and the guy's a smart, sensitive individual, and he leaves you. And another 5 years goes by. You don't have a serious relationship. You're not married. You don't have any kids. Your friends are all married or moved away. You're a working professional. Maybe you've got some material wealth saved up. You have a few friends. You have no family. You have no meaning relationship with other guys. And you're 40 years old. And some of you gals are really good looking. But ladies, let's think about it. Let's use some deductive reasoning. I'm going to lay some harsh truths on you that you're not going to want to hear, but you're going to have to hear it anyway. And here goes. As good looking as you women are, if you're 40 years old and you don't have a relationship with a guy and you are actively looking and you still can't get a guy, as good looking as you are at the age of 40, when a lot of time has passed and you've done a lot of asking and a lot of circulation and you still can't get a guy, and now you're advertising yourself, and you gals are really good looking. I mean, I'm talking, and you're a working professional. You'll support the guy financially, and you're advertising that. So basically, you're trying to invite a gigolo in your life, which I think is a bad idea. But you're so desperate. A couple of these ladies are doctors, and said you'd financially support the guy, and you're really good looking, and you still can't get a guy after doing all that. To me, that says one thing, and one thing only. That says stay away. That says there's something really, really wrong with this picture. Ladies, you're 40 years old, you're a doctor, you're offering to financially support the guy, you're as good looking as you are, and you still can't get any hits. You still can't attract the guys. There's something really, really seriously wrong with this picture. There's something really seriously wrong with this story. What the hell is going on? All I know, though, is when I see that, the passive aggressive subliminal response is I'm like, what the fuck? And I stay away and I turn the channel. I can't even stomach your site. I can't even finish watching a 15-second short of some beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous woman who says she's a doctor. And it's not that I don't believe you're not a doctor. You look intelligent. I don't think women lie about being doctors. They don't have no reason to. and you're saying you've got everything in the world to bring to the table, and you're not getting any responses, you're not getting any hits, you're not getting any dates. Guys won't get close to you long enough to stick a finger up your pussy and get you off with an orgasm. My guess is you might want to go in the area where there's male strippers and male prostitutes and pay them money. Otherwise, you're going to have to advertise yourself on Chatterbait or Strip Chat and start stripping in front of the camera nude and get guys to pay to watch you naked. But even that, and guys like me, even that, unfortunately I watch porn every once in a while. I do masturbate to it. If you asked 100 guys if they masturbate or not, um, hey bro, I'm gonna leave. I'm pulling out right now. Yeah, sorry, sorry I had to do that. My roommate pulled up behind me. One of those things where you promise people a pancake breakfast, 3 pancakes for 5 guys, that's 15 pancakes, and you've got 12 pancakes, so one of the guys is going to move out. I live in an apartment complex where there's comfortable parking for 3 cars, but we always got 4 cars and a motorcycle back here, and it actually makes a problem. So, kind of right now, I am kind of driving. I got to pull away from the fence so I don't scrape the mirror on the fence. It's a long story. I do like my parking space, but as per always, uh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. This is always a pain in the bum, excuse. Um, but as I was saying before, ladies, if you're offering as much as you are, I would recommend not offering as much, and I'll tell you why. Yeah, this is me with my glasses on. Ugh, I'm even worse looking than I already am. Um, Ladies, if you're offering as much as you are, it's what's called a too good to be true scenario, where guys are going to subliminally react, and they're going to think to themselves, you know, if she's offering this much, there is something wrong with the picture. There is something going on. Something is not quite right. This doesn't add up. Something smells. So, ladies, if you're offering as much as you are also displaying yourself as a too good to be true scenario, and you're actually driving men away as opposed to attracting them. Guys are not stupid. Guys have feelings. My recommendation is just sell yourself as a person you are. Stand up for yourself. But then again, even if I were to recommend this, I don't know if this approach is going to work for you gals or not. To be really honest with you, I hate to say this. I'm just going to come out and say it. You're asking for a man to reach into a barrel of rotten fruit and pick out the one good apple. You might be the one good apple, but you're surrounded by women who are absolutely positively lousy. In my experience with women, yeah. So just yesterday, I just want to share an experience. Just yesterday, a young black girl at my church. I moved over behind her and left a row of seats open because the single woman, single black girl with a kid she brings that little boy, and every time that boy just makes so much trouble, it's like she's better off just putting the boy up for adoption or just leaving him with his father, because the kid does nothing but bitch and moan and cry and bitch the whole time he's there. I mean, he doesn't want to be there. So she's always up walking around. She manages to participate in the meetings. She's a good spiritual individual, but her son is just a holy terror. So it was kind of crowded where I was. So I kind of moved over in the back row to just give her the row. Well, she avoids me like the plague because she doesn't know me. And the young girl I sat behind, she moved forward in her seat, like somehow me sitting in the seat behind her made her uncomfortable. It's this type of behavior, ladies, that make guys want to avoid you altogether and not have anything to do with you. And I don't mean not just tell you something like, well, I'm not going to date you right now because I'm not interested. I mean, you're ladies, you're looking at, I mean, this up and coming generation of young women, of 14-year-old girls right now. You're looking at things getting so bad and things getting to the point where guys aren't even want to come near you. They're not that they're not just want to not gonna want to go on a date with you. It's gonna get a lot worse. Yeah, I mean it's gonna get a lot worse. I think that the human birth rate is going to drop to zero if you ladies keep behaving the way you are, and you do. I don't know what it is that fosters this type of behavior out of women, especially in young women right now. Young women are behaving worse than they did than when I remember the way they behaved when I was, when I was 14 years old and they were 14 years old. That 1984, that was the peak of bad behavior for women. I've never been treated more poorly than when I was 14 years old. Oh, well, I guess that's the way it goes. Women are just simply not a part of my life anymore. But this little girl, she moved forward in her seat like somehow my sitting behind her was going to give her a disease. I'm kind of fucking tired of this kind of fucking behavior. And then a nice, pretty girl comes along and says, I'm a doctor, I'll financially support you. Will you call me up? First of all, the format, even if you do try to contact her, you're not going to get a response. Guys already know that. They're not going to try. Ladies, this shit on the YouTube, advertising yourself and bending over and showing your camel toe underneath your yoga pants isn't going to work. Decades of mistreatment and bad experiences tells me one thing. Stay the fuck away from women. It's not that I don't like women. It's just I don't care for the way women treat me. You have devalued yourself in my eyes. This constant fucking awful behavior and this fucking crappy treatment. I'm tired of it. I'm really tired of it. Alex Sanchez, negative shout out to Alex Sanchez at was it 820 or 920 Joanna Street. Alex, I'm not paying you that money I owe you. You dicked me over, and for whatever reason, your 10-year-old daughter Haley, you kept insisting that I was looking at her and that I'm a raging pedophile and that I'm assaulting her by staring at her for half a second. Your overprotectiveness of your daughter Haley is going to lead to one thing. Your daughter Haley is not going to have one single meaningful relationship with another person, with a man, for the rest of her existence. She is going to remain single for her entire life. She is going to live and die an old widow. She will never have a boyfriend. She'll never have a husband. If you keep overprotecting her and treating her to mistrust men, and you keep men away from her like other overprotective fathers who don't know shit about how to raise a daughter properly do, then guess what? She's going to isolate herself from men. She's never going to have a meaningful relationship with a man. And Alex, you drink way too much alcohol, bro. Maybe Haley is going to be smarter than you are, I hope. I hope that she learns from you not to drink alcohol. But Alex, you're a real shithead, okay? And you're not getting that money I owe you. You did too many things to me. So, and that's pretty much that. Haley, I wish you the best, kiddo. Um, and that's pretty much that. So, ladies, this advertising on YouTube, you're advertising yourself. I don't really think it's going to work out. I think that if you're 40 years old, you're a doctor, and you're that good looking, and you still, and you're offering to financially support the guy, and you still can't get a man, I think that God is telling you something. I think that you've sown I think that uh, you've sown fire and you are reaping ashes. You have sown turbulence and you are reaping the wind. If you're a 40-year-old working professional and you're a woman that's that good looking, you can't bribe a man to be with you. And you're that good looking and you're a doctor and you can't bribe a guy with money to be with you. Lady, give it up. You're not going to get a man. Just plan on spending the rest of your life by yourself, because guys are never going to be fooled into liking you. This oversell, this over the top advertising, and all the crappy experience that constantly keeps making me reset and rethink whether or not I even want to acknowledge any single woman's existence on this planet. It's just nonstop. One thing is consistent: you ladies always keep changing the rules. Shout out to Rebecca Enor, Rebecca and Paul Enor. Paul, you're a great guy. Rebecca, I don't know what the hell's your problem. You treat me the same way. Stephanie, something, whether I don't know what your last name is. You used to be Stephanie Flores. Negative shout out to you. Stephanie the same way. I don't know. I don't care. You ladies, just with your behavior and your treatment. There's another girl, but I don't even want to mention her by name because she's not worth it. But again, I don't get or understand the treatment I get from women. It's kind of like I'm getting to the point where I don't really care, and I could say something like it's got to stop, but it ain't gonna stop. So, ladies, good luck. I wish you the best. I'm planning on staying single for the rest of my life. I've kind of been forced into this decision. It's not, it's not my first choice. It would have been nice to have a meaningful relationship with a woman and get married and have kids. At the age of 54, I don't have a girlfriend. I'm not married, but I'm not very good looking. I don't have any money, and I'm a struggling engineer. So I'm not really God's gift to women. Who gives a shit? So if I don't have a beautiful woman in my life, it's for a reason because I'm not a catch. So, but you gals, you were beautiful, working professional, paying for footing the bill for the relationship, and you're a doctor, and you can't get a guy. Wow, I gotta tell you right now, I would say just give it up and plan on remaining single for the rest of your life because that's your fate. Okay, if you want to figure out what your problems are, just watch one of my videos, or go up to a guy and ask him, what's your experience with women been? You'll get an earful if the guy even trusts you enough to talk to you long enough and he suspects you're not going to try and hit on him. If you're trying to hit on him, he'll turn around and run in the opposite direction. He doesn't want problems in his life. He doesn't want to be treated like dog shit. Constant, constant dog shit treatment. Men are constantly being treated like that, and he doesn't want to deal with it. Men are constantly being treated like dog shit by women produced by this fucking culture. They're constantly being treated like dog shit. You women keep treating men like dog shit. I don't know what the problem is, but you reap what you sow. I'm getting a headache. So I'm actually getting kind of mad, but I appreciate this blog. I appreciate this show. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I know I'm ranting. I know I'm venting. I know I'm really going off. I know this seems unfair, but it's not that I hate women. I'm not a misogynist. I just don't care for the way they treat me. And I didn't like my mom. If my mom didn't need me, if she had somebody or something else, she would have kicked me to the curb. My mom's name was Deidre. She was a hollow, shallow woman. She was, in a lot of ways, I think she was kind of a bad person. I don't really like her. I'm just kind of hoping that I never have to meet up with her or see her again. I don't really like her. I don't want to have anything to do with her. I know you're supposed to honor your parents and love your mother and your father, but I just don't like her at all. She just treated me like shit too. She constantly was taking advantage of me, mental and verbal abuse, emotional incest. She just, it's just I don't know. Thoroughly repulsive woman. I'm sorry. That may be the crux of my problem. But if you leave comments, hit the like, hit the subscribe, leave a comment. If you want to leave vitriolic, open-ended comments, that's fine. But be prepared for an educated response. So if you're going to state an argument, you need to make a well-rounded argument where you draw conclusions and you take things, both sides of the argument, all the way to the conclusion on both ends. Those one-sided arguments don't do anybody any good. I'll pour a Jordan Peterson or Ben Shapiro on your ass, and I'll come after you. Okay? My name is Jason Wampler. This has been another episode of An Axe to Grind. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and you know what? We'll see you again when I feel like it.